Now today I am going to tell about carry save adder. So first of all, we should know what is the exact difference between all the types of adders. See, these will not be helpful only for your like lab purpose. It will be helpful for your theoretical also, like in your VLSI subject. These adders are there in your syllabus in Unit 4 Subsystem Design. So if you learn the concept here, it will be helpful there also. So first of all, let us see what is a carry save adder. So as the name says, carry save adder. Okay, so that means it will be saving the carry and so on. So basically, see why carry saver adder is helpful. It is usually used when number of operands are more than 2. That means if anyways you have to add more than 2 numbers, so carry save adder is preferred. So how exactly it works? See, if you see this is x, y, z, let us say this is one simple example. Let us say x, y, z are your 3 inputs. Okay. So you have to add 5 plus 2 plus 7. So 5 to 7 and 7 plus 7 is 14. So in the first this case, they are showing only just the normal operation. It is showing how normally you do the addition. So normally what happens, 14 you will place 1 as a carry and then 4 is in the sum place. And then in the second 1 plus 4, 5 plus 7, 12 plus 8, 20. So 0 will come here and 2 will go as a carry. Similarly here you will get 11. So 1 as a sum, 1 as a carry and so on. So this is your final value. But in carry save adder what you do, see name is saying carry save. That means you are saving the carry. That means at the time of sum you will write only sum at one place and carry at one place. See. Now you have bifurcated your normal addition in what way? It is 5 plus 2, 7 and 7 plus 7 is 14. So you have written 4 here. Okay. And ideally you should get 1 here, but 1 you are not writing at this side. You are writing in the another table, that is carry, and 1 will come in the second position. This first one will remain empty. Similarly, if you see for second one, 4 plus 7 plus 8, it is 19. So 9 you are writing here. Instead of making 1 as a carry, you are writing 1 here in the third place. Similarly here 3 plus 1, 4 plus 5, 9. So 9 will come here, and as if there is no carry, so 0 will come at the carry place, and 2 plus 8 is 10, so 0, and 1 will come as a carry, so 1 is coming carry here, and 1 plus 3 plus 2 it is 6, so it is this 60994 and here it is 1011. So after that you will sum both of them. So now you should ask what is the difference, isn't it? Like instead of like doing addition in a single shot, why are we doing this like carry differently, S separately and then combining them? So see, basically if you remember in your VLSI, where is this carry save adder is used? They are used in the multiplication. See, how do you actually multiply two numbers? Suppose 1011, it has to be multiplied by 111 or 11, let us say 11, all ones. Okay, so how do you do the actual multiplication? 1 ones are 1, then 1, then 0, and then 1. Again you will get the same thing, 1 1 0 1. Let us say this is 0. So all zeros will come. And then again 1 0 1 1. So see, actually what are you doing? You are in multiplication, you don't only just multiply the terms, you also add the terms. Okay, these are all called what? Partial products. And so in multiplication, first of all you do the product and then you do the shifting, shifted by 1, shifted by 2, shifted by 3. So you do left shifting as well, and at the end you perform addition. So basically carry save adder is used where partial products are required. Okay. carry save adder is used where some partial products are required. Like here you can see the sum and carry, these are the two partial products. At the end they are getting added and you are getting the final product. Similarly here also, this partial products, they will get added 1, 1 plus 1 0, carry 1, then 1 0 1 0, it will be again some 0, carry 1, then 1 1 and so on. So carry save adder, it is a normal adder. Okay, so see, if you have to add two, hello, see, if you want to add two numbers, okay, suppose you want to add 11 plus 7, okay, so obviously it will come 18 anyhow, isn't it? Either you use it using half adder, full adder, ripple carry adder, carry save adder, it won't be the condition that for carry save adder you are getting 11 plus 8 as 17, ripple carry adder you will get as 20, for some 21, it is not possible, isn't it? The sum for 11 plus 8 or 11 plus 7 will always remain 18. So similarly for carry save adder, your addition will come same, but what is the difference? Difference is in the processing and in the applications. So basically carry save adder, it consists of two operations. That is, first it stores only the sum values, that is denoted by small s, and another it will save only the carry, okay, and later on it will add both of them and then you will get your final sum value. So basically carry save adder, it has applications in the multipliers. When you study the multiplier topic in VLSI, then you will come to know that all these partial products, they are added using carry save adder, and the final product for this you use carry propagation adders. So wherever partial products are required, you use carry save adder. So this is the normal working of carry save adder. Now let us look what is the diagram. So this is your logic diagram for carry save adder. So next step is you have to write the code for it. Okay, so now what is the first step to write the code? I told you, you have to first see the diagram properly and see is there any repeating unit. What it is? It is the any repeating unit is there. If you see what you can see, FA, what is it? It is the full adder. Full adders, right? So that means we get a key point that full adder is being used 8 times. So obviously you have not so much extra time to write 8 times full adder code. What is the idea? You write the full adder code for 1 and then you will repeat it, or you write a generalized full adder code and then just change the inputs and go ahead. So here also we are writing the code for full adder. So see, if suppose you remember what we have already into our systems, we have a work directory. Okay, so in work directory till now what all things we have saved? We have saved one code for half adder, one code for full adder, one for ripple carry adder. Okay, and now again we want full adder. Okay, so when it is an advantage for you when you are writing on your system. Okay, in your lab records obviously you have to repeat it again and again, but when you are writing in your systems you need not to write it again. So much of time is saved. Okay, you can start away straight with carry save adder. You make one module and then you can call this full adder into this. So this is the advantage, like when you go step by step. But here for your theory purpose you have to write it. So first always what is the syntax? You write module. Module is the keyword. Then you write the module name. So module name should be the specific name which you are specific name of the circuit which you are implementing. Excuse me. Then circuit is full adder. So full adder will be having 2 outputs, sum and carry, and X, Y, Z, these are the 3 inputs. Now because only you know that which one is the output, which one is the input, so you need to tell it to the interpreter as well. So you have defined outputs and inputs as outputs are sum and carry, input is x, y, z. For full adder, you know that what is the condition? Full adder is your XOR of sum is equal to x, XOR y, XOR z. So that means this will be your full adder sum diagram. So it will be XOR of x, y and z. So this will be your sum. So for writing the sum, you have to write XOR. Okay, you can give some name as well, or you can write XOR of, first write the output S, and then inputs are x, y and z. And then see, in the previous experiment what we have done, we have written it in the form of AND. See here, for full adder, if you see here, you have written half adder, okay, using two half adders. In this case you have written AND of this, okay, AND of C1AB, AND of C2A2. Here what they have mixed, you can also mix your behavioral modeling. See here, what is the difference between that and this? Here you are writing a sign, C is equal to X, and this is for and this straight line, single line is for OR. Okay, so your carry is what? Carry is XY plus YZ plus ZX. Okay, so what are the options you have? Either you can write carry is equal to AND of, no, it will be difficult here, see, because you have to write C is equal to XY plus YZ plus ZX. So what you have to write? You have to write it like this. You have to make 3 AND, okay, 3 and then all of them combined together to form a OR gate. So see, one option is what? If you want to stick to the gate level, what you can do? You can write AND, let us say this is FGH, let us say, so F10 comma XY, then AND G comma YZ, and then H comma ZX. Okay, and then you have to make OR of F, G and H, and then here also you have to write wire F, G, H. Okay, so now you can realize it will be bit difficult, okay, if you are implementing your full adder in this way. If you are implementing full adder in this way, it will be difficult because you have to write XY plus YZ plus ZX. So instead of that, here what it is done, they have written a sign. A sign is used for behavioral modeling. See, behavioral modeling. So I will not tell you each and every modeling in the starting. I have not told you like that. As we proceed with the experiment, I will let you know. So this, when it comes assign and some equation, okay, when the word come assign along with some equations, it comes under behavioral modeling. Okay, when you write only this gates, okay, it is your gate level modeling. In the gate level modeling also, you can write the behavioral modeling. So what is behavioral modeling? In behavioral modeling, you write the expressions. See, how do you know the behavior of a person? By looking at his expressions. Okay, if suppose some like happy event is going on, okay, and somebody is jealous. So by looking at his or her expressions, you can figure out, okay, what kind of a person he is, isn't it? So that means behavior can be judged or like analyzed from looking at the expressions. So similarly for your like these gates and all, for finding out the behavior, if you write the equation, you will get the behavior of that. Suppose AND gate behavior you want to know. Okay, so suppose C is the output, A and B is the input. So how you will find the behavior? The behavior of the AND gate is when both the inputs are 0, it will be 0. When both the inputs are 1, it is 1. So the behavior is obtained from the expression. So whenever you are writing the expression, you are using behavioral level modeling. And for writing the expression, what are you supposed to do? You will write assign. Assign is the keyword. So if you write assign C is equal to this, that means C will be equal to, C is assigned as the value which is given on the right hand side. So C is equal to X and Y. So this ampersand sign, it means dot or and. This straight line, it represents or. Okay, so your expression is xy plus yz plus zx. So x and y or y and z or z dot x. So it is written as this, and then end module. Whenever you start a module, you have to end it. So this is your another code for full adder. Okay, so till now how many codes you know for full adder? One code will be this. Another type of code you have written here. Okay, and first one is this one. So till now you know, see, look, 3 ways of writing the code for full adder. Okay, so you can write any one of it. It is all up to you, because full adder will work as a full adder in whatever way you want to write it. It's up to you. So now, but our objective is to repeat this full adder 8 times and make it as a carry save adder. So now we will create another module, carry save adder. Okay, so now that means now in your work you again have one carry save adder as a new directory. And in carry save adder, what is the output? D is the output. Here D is given as the final output. Okay, and then how many inputs are there? A, B and E. A, B, E are the input. E is working as your carry. So here A, B and carry is your inputs. So see, the value of D, if you observe here, it is from where to where? It is from D0 to D4. That means D is having 4 values. So that is why, D0 to D4, it is 5 values. So output D is varying from 4:0 and D. Okay, you can write D0 to D4 also. It is fine. See how actually it works. If you are writing D4 like 4:0. If you are writing 4:0. So it means the most significant bit will be D4, D3 up to D0. Okay, if you are writing 0:4, 0:4D, then it means the most significant will be D0, D1 up to D4. Okay, it is just how you name your bits. It's up to you. Okay, so these are the differences if you write 4:0 or 0:4. Input E, if you see, E is having only one value. This is E. So E will not be having some array form. Input A and B, it is of 3:0 because A and B both are shown 4 bits. So basically it is your 4-bit carry save adder. So input 3:0 A and B, and now you have to write the wire C, because I will remove this first, because if you see the like block diagram of carry save adder, if I ask you to make a simple block diagram, okay, so how you will draw? This is your one carry save adder. Okay, in your carry save adder, what I told you, you have the inputs A, B, let us say E, I am writing this side, and only D is the output. Now see, why only D is the output? Why not two outputs are there? See, because when you have seen the basic working, so what you have seen, these are the two partial outputs, and then when two partial outputs are obtained, then they are added to get the final output. So now I think you understand why we are getting only one output, because ideally your adders should have sum and carry as the output. But for carry save adder, you are having only final output, that is D. And D is the sum of two different partial outputs. So here D is your output. Okay. And now remaining whatever you see in your diagram, it is all comes under wire. What are wire? You will write all the internal inputs and outputs with the name wire. So let us look at the figure. So what will be the wires? All these that come in this box. This is our carry save adder. Okay. Whatever comes inside S0, C0, S1, C1, S2, C2, S3, C3. Okay. All these things, they will come in wire. So S1, C0, S2, C1, all these things, they will come under wire. So now how to write it? So now you have to write the code. So we will start with the full adder. Okay. You will name all the full adders, and see, whenever you are writing this full adder. Okay. So see, this full adder does not mean that you are just writing full adder. Here when you write full adder, it means by full adder you are calling this module full adder. Okay. And the inputs are SC, XY, Z, and here you have written the whole code for it. Here SC means output, XYZ means input. So now whenever you are writing full adder, that means you are writing this code, or you are calling this function full adder. And now whatever outputs you are mentioning, like here you are writing D0, C7, A0, B0, E. That means your D0, D7, A0, B0, E, they are being mapped by these inputs. That means now your SC, X, Y, Z has actually become what? D0, C7, D0, C7, A0, B0, E. In the second case, these have become what? S3, C6. Now they have become S3, C6, A1, B1 and so on. So this is the meaning. Okay. Whenever you are writing full adder, so full adder will be working as a full adder. That module has been called, and whatever inputs and outputs you are giving in the next carry save adder, it will get mapped by this. So that means here you are doing XOR of X, Y and Z. Okay, and output is saved. So here you will be doing XOR of A0, B0 and E, and output will be D0. So you will write for full adder FA0, whatever are the inputs, you will write the outputs and then the inputs. Okay, then full adder FA1, it is S3C6. So now let us look into the figure. So see, if you are writing for this, okay, now here what is the condition? See, they have made the diagram here for full adder 1, your output is D0, okay, and here it is C0. Now see, here you may find it confusing, here it is C0, A0, B0, E. But if you look into the diagram or the code, here it is D0, C7. Now how come C7 is coming? Okay, from the figure it is C0, but how come it is becoming C7? So see, here what is the problem now? Here this is your C0, this will be your C0. Okay, but actually you are adding it in the last of the sum. So it is actually getting added with the last. So see, what is the idea in this? Here your carries, they are getting in the opposite direction. Instead of making C0, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, because your carries, they are added from, like, first only the sums are obtained and later on the carries are obtained. Okay, carries are done in the next step. So that is why first with the first step D0 C7, then S3 C6, S2 C5, and then later on for this, suppose FA4, it is D4 C7, and these intermediate carries, they are not written in the like C0 C1 fashion. It is not written, it is written in this direction: C7 C6 C5 C4 and then C3 C2 C1 C0, because these are the partial products you are getting. So this is your code for the carry select carry save adder. Okay, and now of course, because you want to verify it also, ki is your written code is correct or not. So for verification you write the test bench. So what is test bench? It is used for testing the code. So you know that for testing any logic or any gate level diagram, what is the condition? You have to test it according to some inputs. Okay, if you want to check your suppose XOR gate, okay, if you want to check suppose any of your XOR gate, is it working correctly or not? So what you will expect when both the inputs are 0, output should be 0. When input is 0, 1, output should be 1. Okay, if suppose at both ones it is giving you 1, that means there is some problem in the XOR gate. So similarly for here also, if you want to check your carry save adder, is it working properly or not? So what are you supposed to do? You have to give some inputs and then check the output. So for writing the like this test bench, what is the procedure? First you make another module. Okay, so see, that means now in your work directory, you have half adder, full adder. Okay, there test bench also, that I missed first time. And then you have a ripple carry adder, it's test bench. Now carry save adder, and now it's test bench. Okay, only these many files will be there in your work directory when you are actually implementing it. Okay, so now again you will, for this carry save adder, you will create a test bench by the name carry save adder underscore test bench. Okay, TB is your test bench. So now in your test bench, what is the differences? You do not write as input and output. See, because here the name you are giving as test bench, but how your interpreter will know that you are writing the test bench. Okay, so there has to be some difference in the test bench. What is the difference? Instead of writing input and output, you will write reg and wire. You will write reg and wire. So what is the reg? Reg stands for inputs and wires is for output. That means here these three will be giving you the inputs and this is your output. So how many inputs are there? 3 inputs are there. You have written 3 input. Here input 3 is to 0 A comma B, input E, and one output 4 is to 0 D. So here also 3 inputs, reg 3 is to 0 A, reg 3 is to 0 B, or you can write it in the same line A comma B and then semicolon, both are same. Then reg E, wire 4 is to 0 D. You cannot write E also along with it. Okay, here when array is there, so you can write, you can club only those inputs which are having 4 bits. So A0 to A4, B0 to B4, and E is only 1. So reg E will be written separately. Then wire 4 is to 0 D. And then you are writing carry save adder. So that means what? Carry save adder. Now you are calling this module for carry save adder. This module has been called here, and for testing, what is the inputs? D is the output, A, B, E is the input, and then you will start it and begin. So initial means now you are starting to write the test bench code, and then begin means you are starting to like giving the values to it or assigning the values to it. So now see, here it is 4-bit. Okay, how many bits are there? It is A0 to A3. So that means, and B0 to B3. So it is 4-bit. So you will write the code for 4-bit input. Like previously, this one is for 8-bit. So how you have given the inputs for this ripple carry adder? 8-bit. You have written as suppose A0 is, or A you have written as 8, B 1 2 3 4, let us say 5 6 7 8. This you have done. Okay, if suppose any case it is 3-bit, you will write it as A is equal to 3 single quote B 1 1 0 or whatever you want to give. Similarly here it is for 8-bit, sorry 4-bit. Okay, so you have to keep this thing in mind. You cannot you can get error in this case if it is given 4-bit. Okay, A and B are 4-bit number, so you cannot give a 3-bit input or 2-bit input or 1-bit input. It has to be 4-bit. So how do you give the input? First you write the number of bits, then single quote, and the input should be in the binary form, and it is like 4 zeros or something. Similarly for B also, let us say all 4 zeros are there and E is equal to 1, because E is single bit. Okay, so E is 1. So here, and hash 100, it means after 100 units, 100 time units, you will give the another value. So let us see why E is 1. Here you can see in the diagram, this E, it is assigned as 0 and 1. So when it is 1, this will be working. When E is 0, that means all the adders, it is not working as that carry save adder. When E is 1, at that time it is working as a carry save adder. So E is equal to 1. In the next, after 100, you have changed the value from 0 to 1, and then you have changed it to 0, value from 1 to 4. So like that you will change the inputs. So see, because it is of 4-bit, so you should get the options from all zeros to 0 0 0 1 up to all ones. That means you should get 16 combinations. So if time does not allow us to write 16 combinations, then what you can do, you can write 4 or 5 or maximum 6. That will be sufficient. Take 4 different combinations and then you can get the result. So here at the end some new thing has come, $stop. Okay, so in this you have this $stop. Okay, this $sign preceded by some word like stop. Okay, and it has pause also. Okay, so there are 2 commands. One is $stop, another one is $pause. So what is the difference between pausing and stopping? Pause means to hold for some time. Okay, stopping means to stop the execution now or to stop the program. So here $stop means no more further that inputs can be given, only these 3 inputs will be given to it. So these are some special commands that are preceded by $sign. Okay, $sign preceded by some word. Here in Verilog it means some special commands. These are the commands, and if it is stop, it means it will stop the execution. Pause means it will pause the execution. That means you can like assign some value after some time. But if stop is there, you cannot further assign the value. Then end, because you have begun something, you have to end it. So you are ending it. You have begin the module, you have to end the module. So this is your test bench code. Now if you look at the waveform for carry save adder, so see here, suppose these are the values given. What are the values? It is for the A input, it is for the B input, okay, and this is E value, and then this is your D. Because see, in your output waveform you will not get anything else. What I told you, this is your block diagram. So in this you have A, B, E and D. Only 4 things are there. Okay, rest other inputs and outputs, they are inside the box. So we will not get them in the simulated output. In the simulated output you will only get what? Which are outside the box. And outside the box is A, B, E and D. So here if you check, see, at this point what is the case? Here see, we have to check it bit by bit, isn't it? So suppose let us check this value. This value is 0, E is 0, and this A3 is 0, B3 is 1. Okay, so 1 plus 1 is what? Sorry, 0 plus 1 is 1. So at 3 point you are getting 1. Similarly at 2 if you check, so 2 is, here it is 0, here it is 0, then your sum will be 0. Similarly if you want to check at some other point, you can check it. Let us say we want to check at this portion. So here this is 1, E is 1 at this point, okay, and this A0 is 1 and B0 is 1. So when 3 ones are there, 1 plus 1 plus 1 will give you sum 1 and carry 1. That means sum is 1, so it will be 1. Okay, likewise you can check the results also. And here if you see, at what time all the values are switching? They are switching here, then they are switching here and here. That means the values are changing after every 100 seconds. Why is that so? Because you have given hash 100. If suppose you would have given hash 200, then switching will always be after 200 seconds. 200. If there is some transition, it will be after 200, because we have given 100. So your inputs, they have the choice of changing at 100 time unit. You can, and here the time unit it is not given. Basic, yeah, see, it's in nanosecond. Time unit is nanosecond, so that means after every 100 nanosecond it will change. So this is your carry save adder. Okay.